Good morning. Welcome to my site. Let's read the Bible. Okay, this morning we're going to start off with Psalms. Psalms 1. Blessing the righteous and the wicked contrasted. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doth prosper. The ungodly are not so, but they are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of righteousness, but the way of ungodly shall perish. Thank you for joining my channel called Halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Wahar Rakwa Kudash. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, our Lord and Savior. Double honors and respect to the elders and apostles and teachers of Great Millstone. Again. Also, great respect to the believers that have the word of Yahweh Shai, who the word is made flesh and has promised to return for the remnant of Israel and redeem the elect who are preordained to receive forgiveness and mercy with daily remission of sins and the belief in the report shown us by his servants. Okay. Daily, I watch videos from Great Millstone, the apostles and the prophets, and I like to take a lot of notes of the precepts. What I like to do now, I'm going to endeavor to read for each precept, I'm going to read the chapters, and try and shed some light, actually to gain understanding, and hopefully we can share and learn at the same time. Okay, I'm pretty new to this walk, and after I read the chapters, I'm going to read the Good News Bible translation with Deuterocanicos and Apocrypha. This way, we can add to the understanding of each of the works that I read. Okay. Now moving on, as you can see, I'm leaving Psalms 1 up, and I'm going to go to Psalms 1 in the Good News Bible translation. And let me find it. Salaki. Psalms 1. True happiness. And notice in the Good News translation, the translation may be a little off because, the writers of this book, more likely from Esau. Esau, they've been in control of books for the longest. Psalms 1. True happiness. Happy are those who reject the advice of evil people, who do not follow the example of sinners, or join those who have no use for the Most High. Instead, they find joy in obeying the law of the Lord, and they study it day and night. They are like trees and grow inside a stream that bear fruit at the right time, and whose leaves do not dry up. They succeed in everything they do, but evil people are not like this at all. They are like the straw that the wind blows away. Sinners will be condemned by the Most High and kept away from the Most High's own people. The righteous are guided and protected by the Lord, but the evil are on the way to their doom. Let's get another one. This is pretty much a test session, so I'm just going to move on down to the next Psalms. The right of the Lord's anointed. Why do the heathens rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them his wrath, and vex them and his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath set me unto me, have said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. As of me, I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O you kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are they that put their trust in him. Let me see, okay. Good News Translation. I shouldn't have let this Psalms go, but it'll take me just a second to find it. Okay, Psalms 2. All right. Psalms 2. The Most High's chosen king. Tell you what, I'm going to go online and get it this way so you can see as I read it. Psalms 2, right? Okay. Right. Why do the nations plan rebellion? Why do people make their useless plots? Their kings revolt, their rulers plot together against the Lord and against the king he chose. Let us free ourselves from their rule. Then say, let us throw off their control. From his throne in heaven, the Lord laughs and mocks their feeble plans. Then he warns them in anger and terrifies them with his fury. O Zion, my sacred hill, he says, I've installed my king. I will announce, says the king, what the Lord has declared. He said to me, you, my son, today I have become your father. Ask, and I will give you all the nations. The whole earth will be yours. You will break them with an iron rod. You will shatter them in pieces like a clay pot. Now listen to this warning, you kings. Learn this lesson. You rulers of the world, serve the Lord with fear, tremble, and bow down to him, or else anger will be quickly aroused, and you will suddenly die. Happy are all who go to him for protection. Psalms 3. And I won't be going consecutive in the future. I'm just getting started. Morning prayer or trust in the Most High. A psalm of David. When he fled from Absalom, his son, Lord, how art they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God and Most High, Selah. But thou, O Lord, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, art a shield for me, my glory and the lifter up of mine head. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill, Selah. I laid down and slept. I awakened, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Save me, O my power, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Thy blessing is upon thy people, Selah. Let's see what that sounds like or translates to in the Good News Translation. Pop-ups. Psalms 3. And I have the book verse. I'm going to use the book verse to show you what they title it. Okay, this is Psalms 3. Is titled Morning's Prayer for Help. I have so many enemies, Lord, so many who turn against me. They talk about me and say God will not help him. But you, O Lord, are always my shield from danger. You give me victory and restore my courage. I call to the Lord for help, and from his sacred hill he answers me. I lie down and sleep, and all night long the Lord protects me. I'm not afraid of those enemies who surround me on every side. Come, Lord, save me, my God. You punish all my enemies and leave them powerless to harm me. And victory comes from the Lord. May he bless his people. No short. And I'll do one more test. One more. Let's do 4. Psalms 4. Evening prayer of trust in the Most High. To the chief musician in Negina, a psalm of David. Hear me when I call, O Yahweh, O power of my righteousness. Thou hast enlarged me when I was in distress. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer, O ye sons of men. How long will ye turn my glory into shame? How long will ye love vanity and seek after leasing? Selah. But now the Lord hath set apart him that is godly for himself. The Lord will hear when I call him. Stand in awe and sit not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still, Selah. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Lord. There be many that say, who will show us any good? Lord, lift thou up the light of thy countenance upon us. Thou hast put gladness in my heart, more than in the time that their corn and their wine increased. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for thou, Lord, only makes me dwell in safety. And it's pretty much been entitled the same as the blue letter. Good news. Answer me when I pray, O God, my defender. When I was in trouble, you helped me. Be kind to me now and hear my prayer. How long will you people insult me? How long will you love what is worthless and go after what is false? Remember that the Lord hath chosen the righteous for his own, and he hears me when I call to them. Tremble with fear and stop sinning. Think deeply about this when you lie in silence on your beds. Offer the right sacrifices to the Lord and put your trust in him. There are many who pray, give us more blessings, O Lord. Look on us with kindness, but the joy that you have given me is more than they will ever have with all their grain and wine. When I lie down, I go to sleep in peace. You alone, O Lord, help me. Keep me perfectly safe. All right. Okay, that was just the first part, the first four songs. And eventually I will get through all of them. Okay. But now we're going to get through. I want to start reading some of my homework. Okay. The first, Matthew 23. And the title is Pharaohism Exposed. Then spake Yahushua to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they did, whatever they bid, you observe. That observe and do, but do ye after their works, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and I lay them on man's shoulders. Slaki. For they bind heavy burdens and grievances to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders. But they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. That's another way of saying they lay the law on the congregation. They have no mercy. They operate on the very letter of the law and not on the spirit of forgiveness. And so they don't practice what they preach, pretty much. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments. All right, so I have to see what phylacteries mean. Phylacteries.
Phylactery.
A small leather box containing Hebrew text on vellum, worn by Jewish or Israelite men at morning prayer as a reminder to keep the law. See, the old scribes, it's gone by the first I can't think of the word, but they're gone by the law, and law is not going to save you. Faith is going to save you. Okay? Let me read that again. But all their works they do to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments, and love the uppermost rooms at feasts, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the markets, and to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi, which means teacher. But be not ye called Rabbi, for one is your master, even Hamashiach, and all ye are brethren. And call no man your father upon the earth, but one is your Father which is in heaven. Neither be you called masters, but one is your master, even Hamashiach. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. 8 woes. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye devour widows' houses, and for pretense make long prayer. Therefore ye shall receive the greater damnation. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte. And when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. I want to read that. I can't even speak to that. In NIV, woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You travel over the land and sea to win a single convert, and when you have succeeded, you make him twice as much as child of hell as you are. Yeah. Woe unto you, ye blind guides, which say, whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing, but whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple, he is a debtor. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater, the gold or the temple that sanctifieth the gold? And whosoever shall swear by the altar, it is nothing, but whosoever swears by the gift that it is upon, he is guilty. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater, the gift or the altar that sanctifieth the gift? Whosoever therefore shall swear by the altar, sweareth by it, and by all things thereof. And whosoever swear by the temple, sweareth by it, and by him that dwelleth therein. And he shall swear by heaven, sweareth by the throne of Most High, and by him that sitteth thereon. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and to leave the other undone. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel, unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Thou blind Pharisees, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye are like unto whited sepulchres, for which indeed appear beautifully outward, but are within full of dead men's bones, and of all uncleanness. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! Because you build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if he had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourself that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. For ye up then the massacre of your fathers. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can you escape the damnation of hell? Wherefore, behold, I send you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, And some of them ye shall scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of the righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come unto this generation. Lament over Jerusalem, O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets and stonest them which are sent unto them. How often would I have gathered my children thereof, even as hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. For I say you, ye shall not see henceforth till ye shall say, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. That was a mouthful. Now let's read the translation. Instead of putting it up on screen, I'm just going to read it out of the Bible, out of the New Translation Bible. If I can get it here, Salaki. It's going to take me just a little bit. Okay. The title, Yahushua warns against the teachers of the law and the Pharisees. And I'm going to read from the New Translation verbatim, the way they wrote it. Then Yahushua spoke to the crowds and to his disciples, the teachers of the law and the Pharisees, are the authorized interpreters of Moses' law. So you must obey and follow everything they tell you to do. Do not, however, imitate their actions, because they don't practice what they preach. They tie onto people's backs loads that are heavy and hard to carry, yet they aren't willing to even lift a finger to help them carry those loads. They do everything so that people will see them, looking at the straps with scriptures verses on them, which they wear on their foreheads and arms, and notice how large they are. Notice also how long are the tassels on their cloaks. They love the best places at feasts and the reserved seats in the synagogues. They love to be greeted with respect in the marketplaces and to have people call them teacher. You must not be called teacher, because you are all equal and have only one teacher. And you must not call anyone here on earth Father, because you have only one Father in heaven. Nor would you be called leader, because your one and only leader is Messiah. The greatest one among you must be your servant. Whosoever make himself great will be humbled, and whosoever humbles himself will be made great. Yahushua condemns hypocrisy. How terrible for you, teachers of law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You lock the door to the kingdom of heaven in people's faces. You lock the door in the kingdom of heaven to people's faces, but you yourselves don't go in, nor do you allow in those who are trying to enter. How terrible for you, teachers of the law and Pharisees! You hypocrites! You sail the seas across the whole countries to find one convert, and when you succeed, you make him twice as deserving of going to hell as you yourselves are. How terrible for you, blind guides! You teach if someone swears by the temple, he isn't bound by his vow. But if he swears by God and the temple, he is bound. Blind fools, which is more important, the gold or the temple, which makes the gold holy? You also teach if someone swears by the altar, he isn't bound by his vow. But if he swears by the gift of the altar, he is bound. How blind you are! Which is the more important, the gift or the altar, which makes the gift holy? So then, when a person swears by the altar, he is swearing by it and by all the gifts on it. And when he swears by the temple, he is swearing by it and by the Most High. who lives there. And when someone swears by heaven, he is swearing by the Most High's throne and by him who sits on it. How terrible for you, teachers of the law and Pharisees! You hypocrites, you give to the Most High 1/10 even of seasoning herbs, and such as mint, dill, and cumin, but you neglect to obey the really important teachings of the law, such as justice, mercy, honesty. These you should practice without neglecting the others, blind guides. You strain a fly out of your drink, but swallow a camel. How terrible for you, teachers of the law and Pharisees! You hypocrites! You clean the outside of your cup and plate, while the inside is full of what you have begotten by violence and selfishness. Blind Pharisees, clean what is inside the cup first, then the outside will be clean too. How terrible for you, teachers of the law and Pharisees! You hypocrites! You are like the whitewashed tombs, which look fine on the outside but are full of bones and decaying corpse on the inside. In the same way, on the outside you appear good to everybody, but inside you are full of hypocrisy and sins. The outside predicts the punishment. Luke 11:47-1 is a precept. How terrible for you, teachers of the law and Pharisees! You hypocrites! You make fine tombs of the prophets and decorate the monuments of those who live good lives. And you claim that if you lived during the time of your ancestors, you would not have done what they did and killed the prophets. So you actually admit that you are the descendants of those who murdered the prophets. Go on then and finish up what your ancestors started, you snakes and children of snakes. How do you expect to escape from being condemned to hell? And so I tell you that I will send you prophets and wise men and teachers. You will kill some of them, crucify others, and whip others in the synagogues, and chase them from town to town. As a result, the punishment for the murder of all the innocent people will fall on you, from the murder of innocent Abel to the murder of Zechariah, son of Berechiah, whom you murdered between the temple and the altar. I tell you indeed, the punishment for all these murders will fall on the people of this day. Yahushua's love for Jerusalem. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you killed the prophets and stoned the passengers the Most High has sent you. How many times I wanted to put my arms around all your people, just as a hen gathers her chicks unto her wings, but you will not let me, and your temple will be abandoned and empty from now on. I tell you, you will never see me again until you say, God bless him who comes in the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay, with that, this was just a sample, the beginning. I plan to read, Lord willing, of this as often as possible. I want to say daily, and I will unless something interferes. Okay, I'm gonna take off this share. Well, I don't want to stop sharing. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I hope that you were edified. As I said, I'm just reading the Bible, and I'm a student of Great Millstone, and daily I take on to read the lessons from the daily videos, and I listen to more than one GMS because the scripture says same doctrine, right? We all have the same belief. I like the GMS document. Well, it's not that I like it. That's where the Lord put me. In Kolon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I'm glad he put me there. Yeah. I would like to give some disclosures. Okay, I'm not a member of Great Millstone, but like I said, I attend the videos daily, and I pray that you receive some edification. And for any of the prophets that happen to catch my videos, I'm just a low-level worm. I pray that you provide some edification, some rebuke, correction, or confirmation. And for the new Israelites that are just waking up, I'm providing a venue or a vehicle so that you can read the Bible with me, so we can learn together and grow together. So I pray that you was edified. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kwame Yasharali, and the Bible Bob. Shalom until the next video, Lord willing.